Hey everybody, this is a Deadly Sands Airsoft review of the APS ACP. Okay, now onto the lower half of the gun. You have a pretty cool ambidextrous safety on the trigger, which is pretty interesting. You have a full metal outer barrel and inner barrel, of course. You actually have the whole lower receiver is polymer, which is pretty interesting, and it's got nice little rails on the front segment of the gun for installing lasers and stuff, and it's pretty cool. It's got a pretty cool Glock looking trigger guard, which is pretty interesting, and everything's just pretty nice about this gun. The feels and the looks are nice. You can see some seams in the middle of the grip and stuff like that, but other than that, it's pretty nice. It's just a pretty nice overall gun. It's got a nice ambidextrous mag release. It's got a pretty cool Glock style slide release. It's just pretty interesting. I really like this gun. The skull on the back of the slide is pretty cool. That just kills you every time. Especially if you're playing zombies, if anybody knows what I'm talking about. When you're playing zombies in like a night game or something, it's pretty fun. It's got a nice heavy mag included. It's a big heavy mag. It holds around 18 rounds. It's pretty cool. I like it. It uses, of course, CO2, just like normal. Or really, it's just like any other CO2 pistol. But it's got a special new nozzle, which I'll talk about in the internal review. So, now, on to the internal review. Okay, so this gun looked okay when we first got it. It was a pretty good gun. It performed insanely well, good around 350 FPS. After a while, I had one too. I had the Cryptek Typhoon version. It's camo. After a while, they started to kind of break. The air seals on the mags broke extremely easily. They were really low quality. My mag, here's the mag for mine. As you can see, it actually exploded, and so when I shot it, I'll just say this, see how when the chamber opened up, the top of the magazine, the glue wasn't very strong, and the top of the magazine actually flew out and hit me in the face. The mag is kind of different. As you can see, there's two little screw things, and I'm going to show you to take it out here. Okay, so once you have it out, you can see the little silver screw, and I honestly don't know why there's a little Phillips head screw in there. I don't get that. It's like the worst engineering ever. Anyway, doesn't matter. So as you can see, there's a little sharp thing in there. That's what punctures the CO2 and gets it to go into the gas chamber. So you have two little screws. The outer one kind of just gets it in there. This one is how you puncture the CO2, which is kind of different design. And because of that, you actually put your CO2 in. You put the CO2 in, like, okay, here's the top of the mag, here's the CO2. Normally you put it in like that, right? You actually put it in upside down. Kind of interesting. Then you just screw this in. Okay, so now onto the disassembly and the pistol itself. Performed pretty well, as you know. The trigger is kind of made out of might be polymer, but it feels more like cheap ABS to me. The grip is polymer. It comes with some little sandpaper that you can just put on wherever you want, which I don't really get what the point of that is, but whatever. I don't really like the way it has a screw hole right there. That's kind of stupid. It's a pretty light pistol. It's pretty light. It's not even close to the real weight of a real Glock, but you know, it's actually kind of cool. It's got a differently textured grip than the real Glock, because of course it's not actually a Glock, it's a ACP. You can see there's a visible seam, which I don't like, right along the grip. Other than that, it looks pretty cool, looks pretty aggressive. It just looks kind of like a Glock. There's a few minor differences, because if you make a Glock, you'll get sued in Airsoft, but who cares? So, overall, it's a pretty good gun. I like it. It performed well for a while, but then they started breaking, and now I don't really like it. It's simple to disassemble, just like a real Glock. Just pull down this little tab right here, slide it back and slide it forward, and then it's off. You can see there's a spring. It's a pretty stiff spring, like it. It's a plastic air cylinder, but a metal piston. There's your hop up right there. You want to make sure to keep this well oiled, because then you'll get better. First of all, it won't use as much CO2. Second of all, it'll be just funner just to pull back the thing. I don't know why. It's pretty nice down here. Everything looks pretty solid and metal. As you can see, here's how it shoots, just like any other CO2 pistol. That's how it works, and then you just pull it back when you pull the slide back. It's pretty simple. Yeah, I like this. It's pretty cool. It scratches sometimes on the slide, and some of the trades that were originally there have worn off. Other than that, it's pretty great. There's just some problems with this gun that I don't like it, but it's okay overall. So, yeah, there's the internal review.
Okay, now on to the shooting review of the APS ACP. Okay, we will be shooting at our Coke can, 50 feet away, with .20 gram BBs, and we are using Humorex CO2. I like Humorex a lot better than Crossman. Just saying, Crossman's more for those beginners, those like cheap plastic see-through pistols. This is a step up, so let's do this. Okay, so overall, this pistol performed very nicely. The accuracy was very good. I was able to hit that cannon a few times from 50 feet away. So I was actually pretty surprised about that. It was pretty windy out there, so that was cool. The only thing that wasn't very good was whenever most pistols, when you shoot them, when they're out of ammo, they pull back like this. And for some reason, my pistol didn't do that when it was out. It just kept shooting, so that's something's messed up about that. So also, when you pull the trigger too fast, I think something about this mag, his broke. Like there's some sort of a CO2 mess up thing. So when you shoot it really fast, the CO2 just spews out the top and it just messes up. And so you can't shoot it that fast, which I really don't like. So I don't really know what that is. You have anything to say?
Okay, well I'm pretty sure the reason why that happens is it builds up too much pressure on the BB, because what you're doing is you're double tapping it and it's not having enough time to actually shoot out a bullet. And if you shoot it fast enough, it'll put too much pressure and cause the whole entire mag, like the top of the mag well, to fly off like mine did and actually come out the top of the gun. And that's a really big con, because it means you can't shoot fast at all. Like you have to be like, it's basically you have to shoot like twice every second, basically. Otherwise, if you shoot even faster, it'll like break. One thing I don't like about these kind of pistols that I think is kind of ugly is the cap on the bottom. I don't really like that, but you know, it's fine.
Oh, and the cap, I don't know why, the cap always falls off.
Like it's really
I almost lost it, so.
Yeah, but it's okay. Yeah, it didn't lock back. That's okay. It's not that big of a deal for functionality, just kind of aesthetics. If you notice, ours has a black tip, because we got it from an Airsoft arena and they kind of modified it, so it already had a black tip. Don't ask me why. Again, the seams, I just really don't like those. It's a pretty good gun though. It's pretty cool. It feels nice in your hand. It's nice and light and agile, and you can kind of smooth around. Ergonomics, they got those down pretty much. It doesn't perform too well. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I'll be going through mags like crazy, spending 50, 60 bucks here and there on mags.
But it is very accurate. I will give it that. It is very accurate.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate for a CO2 pistol, so, you know, that's okay. Like, it's easy to take apart. It's got a bunch of pros, but
yeah,
you know,
and for the price, it retails for around 130 bucks. I mean, that's a pretty reasonable price for this gun, I think.
Yeah.
So overall, I give it about a 3.
Overall, it doesn't really meet my standards. I'll probably give it a 2.7 out of 5. That's what I'll give it. It's just not that amazing. It's pretty cool, but I don't really know what all the fuss is about. It's not the best pistol I've ever seen.
So if you like Glocks, if you're into Glocks, and you're not looking for the best performing gun out there, it's not that expensive, so just go give it a look. I mean, it's pretty good.
But for the price, you can get Echo 1 Timberwolf, which would probably be better. That'd probably be a better option. Echo 1 Timberwolf retails for around 140. This is around 139.
So yep.
Yep, that's it.
So there's the video review of the APS ACP.